Good evening, everyone. Um, Welcome to those that's new and watching. And I know this is my first video. Thank you all my viewers who end up tuning in or end up watching this at a later time. Thank you for your support. Um, I'm going live right now to discuss the Jamal White abduction. As we all know, this baby was abducted. He was found less than 24 hours later. I hope my voice is coming through. Okay, so I know I'm looking a little rough. Sorry about that double feedback playback. Okay. I don't know why my camera looking like this. You can see me a little bit, not much, but let me see. Is my voice still coming through? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so sorry about the little hiccup, but welcome again to my channel. Going live regarding Jamal White's abduction again, as I stated before. So there's been I've noticed a lot of Facebook posts, TikToks, Instagrams, people going live and having their comments and everything like that. And what I've mostly been noticing is people are not giving their opinions based on fact. You have people that are sharing opinions and coming up with theories of their own, saying who's involved, who's not involved. And I just want to say, let's just leave this investigation up to the proper authorities. Allow them to investigate, do what they need to do. Now, we know this baby was abducted. There was a camera. Now we know there was more than one camera because they've released now two different angles of this baby's abduction. This 7-year-old little boy doing something that little boys and little girls, little kids do, normal kid thing, riding his bicycle coming from the park with his dad. This baby was abducted at gunpoint by men in ski masks with guns pointing at him and his dad. What dad did was his fight or flight instinct kicked in. He took off running. Nobody knows how they'll react in certain situations. So we can't tell this man, hey, you should have grabbed your son. I would have let them kill me before I let them took my son. Yeah, we can say all of that, but nobody knows how they're going to react in a situation when they're until they're actually going through it. We all been in situations where prior to it, we would say, if I get in this situation, this is how I react. Then when that situation came up, the reaction was totally different. So let's not don't keep throwing these stones at this man and throwing allegations out here. I mean, it went from, oh, he a punk, he a B word, he let his son get took, and he need hands put on him. And I understand it looked bad. From that video, it definitely looked bad. But we all gotta stop at the end. As parents, we all say, I'm gonna die for my child. They would have had to shoot me and kill me before I let them just snatch my son up and took off with him. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. But at the same time, I'm also thinking those people had handguns. He tried to fight, they started shooting. It could have been him dead and their baby dead. We could have had a whole different scenario. We could have been watching on the news this woman crying, saying she done lost her partner and her child and got to bury two people. There would have been a whole totally different traumatic experience for this baby had it went that way. So let's pull back on some of that blame. And then also another thing with blaming the parents, I've seen people have now come out with, oh, the dad was arrested, the mom was arrested. Oh, the mom was related to the guy that kidnapped her son. We don't know none of this. The only thing we know is that one guy was arrested at the same house that they rescued this baby from. His last name was Williams. I don't have his first name. I just know the last name was William. I'll go back and check and get his full name and post it in the comment. Um, yes, mom was taken into custody. But when her charges were, well, when people were trying to post her mugshot and her charges, there was no charges there. It just says holding, which seems like, as people were, or as some of the reports were saying, looks like she was arrested for an old warrant that they had for her, or maybe a probation violation. It does not state she's been arrested for abduction or accessory or any of those things. Nothing about that baby's abduction is showing on her mugshot on her when you pull her search her arrest. The second thing, his dad was not arrested. His dad has a twin brother named Jamal. The dad is Jamal Sr., the baby's Jamal Jr., and his uncle, who's his dad's twin brother, is Jamal. Jamal was arrested not for kidnapping his baby or being an accessory. He was arrested for shooting a firearm towards a vehicle that was riding down their street shortly after this baby was abducted. And I want people to also think about this. I'm not saying he was right to shoot that firearm. I'm not saying he was right to, it was right to assume somebody was coming back to do harm and to just shoot out. No, but people got to understand they had went through. Those people had went through this traumatic abduction. They witnessed this abduction at gunpoint. A car was riding down the street. They had no idea this car was there to help, trying to look for this baby. The car was just riding slowly down the street, turned around, made a U-turn, rode like it went back and forth up and down the street. These people already was just traumatized. They don't know what's traumatized, excuse me. They don't know what this car is doing. A quick sticking the head out the window the first time and say, hey, we're part of a search. We're just searching for your baby, something like that. It would have avoided the escalation of it. But just riding up and down in front of somebody's house looking like you're a case in the street that they live on, especially it's right after they went through a traumatic event that they did, anybody would be on high alert. No, he should not have just automatically shot the gun off. No, the firearm off. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I understand. I'm giving some empathy and sympathy to the situation to say, hey, I understand it's the mind frame that these people are in. They were on high alert, and that's all I'm gonna get into about that. Also, I just want to say thank God that this baby was found. He was alive, brought back to his well. From what I understand, some people are saying he was in CPS custody and have not went home yet. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to get it looked it up, and when I come back at a later time, I have more details and link some news articles in the comments for you all to look at. But I just want to say, praise God, this baby was found. And he was found less than 24 hours after he was abducted, or within 24 hours of his abduction. So the police went in and they got on it quickly. Amber Alert went out pretty quick. They were searching for this baby. He was listed as missing and endangered. Amber Alert went out. They was on top of it for this 7-year-old baby. And I appreciate those law enforcement for acting and moving so quickly and getting that baby safely as quickly as they did. Because we know a lot of time with our black and brown children, when they go missing, we're a lot of times not a top priority for law enforcement. They come out and take a report and put the stuff in the computer, but we don't get Amber Alerts that fast. So thank you to those law enforcement for putting out the Amber Alert as fast as they did, because people start seeing their vehicle, reporting their vehicle right away. So as the Amber Alert went out and people knew what they were looking for, reports started coming in saying, hey, the vehicle was spotted over here. Hey, it was just in this area. And they caught that vehicle. They came up on that vehicle very quickly after that Amber Alert went out. And then a little bit after that, we had the news that baby had been recovered. So we see Amber Alerts can work. They lead to results. We need those Amber Alerts to be put out that quick for our babies, because putting those Amber Alerts out does get results. We seen that right here in action. But I just like to say, y'all, please, if y'all gonna go live, if y'all gonna post, if do your TikToks and your Facebooks and your Instagrams and YouTube, even if you're doing on YouTube like me, don't come on here. Don't get up there bashing these parents. Don't get up there saying stuff if you haven't did your research, saying, oh, hey, mom is in jail, she had the baby kidnapped, dad. Because I literally read on Facebook today in a group, one of the groups that I'm in, a post was made and it insinuated that the mom and the dad had something to do with this baby's abduction, because the caption stated mom and dad of Jamal have now been arrested in connection. No, they have not been arrested in connection to their baby's abduction. Please stop putting it out there until the police come out and say, hey, we've made some arrests. We got 3 people in custody. All 3 of them are charged in this abduction. Let's stop putting it on. The only thing we should be saying is that one gentleman who was arrested at the scene inside their house. He was in the house with their baby. He's the only person that been arrested. And as of right now, we're not even 100% sure what he's arrested or charged with. We don't know because the only thing we know is he was in the house. Was he the one that abducted the baby? Was he just there watching the baby? Just the lookout? Was he the lookout guy or the other guys? We don't know. We don't have all the facts. So let's stop putting stuff out here that we don't know. Report on what the news and the police is releasing. Lead the investigation up to the police. They got all the camera angles, the videos, and the witness statements and all that. Now, yes, Dad was detained in the beginning. He did make that statement on his Facebook. He said he posted, "I know I effed up. I could have reacted better. I took off running. I thought my baby ran in behind me or ran around like he seen his baby running." He admitted he took accountability for his part in the fact that he didn't do all that he know he was capable of doing to make sure his baby got away from the people. He stated that, and he also stated, "I was detained for a lot of hours. I haven't even seen my son. He hadn't even seen his son when he made his post. He said, I haven't even laid eyes on my son since he was abducted. They recovered my son, but he's not with me. I've been with the police. Police been holding me and talking to me and stuff like that." And then he made a post about freeing his brother. People took that to mean he was the one arrested. No, if everybody had to stop to pay attention, this man got a whole twin brother. Yes, their names are Jamal and Jamil. And the baby is Jamal Jr., named after his dad. Again, when we posting stuff and we giving out saying what we think, let's do it respectfully. This baby gonna grow up one day. He's gonna be old enough to understand, to see these videos, see these posts, see these comments and stuff that people putting out by his family. And do we want to re-traumatize this baby at that point? And for him to read and see, oh, my mom and my dad abducted me to try to get some money or get some views on social. But that's what people putting out there. They saying that these people orchestrated this whole kidnapping for views on social media or to gain some type of financial gain. We have no proof of that. So can we stop putting it out there? Once again, once it's out there, once it hits the internet, you can't take it back. You can go do a retraction or go and edit a caption and say, update, I made a mistake. But at this point, what you originally put out there had already been out there and been shared. So the only thing people know is when they type this baby name in doing Google searches or Instagram or thing like that, you see a whole lot of posts popping up saying this baby mom and daddy had him kidnapped. And it's wrong to be doing that when we don't even know that to be true. We don't know who all was involved, the extent of their involvement. We don't know who knew what, when they knew it, how they knew it. We know none of that because the police have not released any of their information. So everything that's out here now is just people coming up with theories and saying, "Oh, this what I think happened" based on a little piece of information. We seen one video and people came up, "Oh, so this is that, the daddy this, that, and the third." Now they've released a second video, a second angle of the abduction, and we see where the dad parked the car. The baby was still riding his bike. Daddy was finna get out and go in the house anyway. The baby was still circling on his bike. So it seemed like he was intended on letting the baby, because the baby looked like he wanted to keep riding his bike. So the dad was gonna go in anyway for a second. From what I can see in it, I'm not saying this definite. I'm just saying from what I saw and what it appeared was about to happen when they jumped out of their truck on their baby. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know what the intention was, but it seemed like the baby wanted to keep riding his bike because he rode in a circle and he didn't ride up to the house to get off his bike. He was still riding. And the daddy was getting ready. He literally stepped out of the car. And when he stepped out, everything started happening. My thing is, people saw the first video. We heard that baby screaming as a mother with a son. Yes, my son is 19 years old. But my son was once a 7-year-old little boy outside playing. When I heard that baby screaming, all I can think of is, my God, it tore me to pieces to hear that baby scream like that. And I'm like, my God, to hear a baby scream like that for his daddy, for help, it I was emotional hearing that video. seeing it and hearing the audio from their video. It tore me up as a parent. I don't know how anybody could watch their video and it not tear their heart to pieces to hear their baby screaming for his dad and crying and wanting help and knowing that help wasn't coming, and then they threw him in their truck. And when I saw the other angle, it made it just that much more worse. Like I said, me being a parent, every second of that video, both of those angles, it just tore me up to watch those two different angles of that kidnapping and hear that baby screaming and stuff like that. It tore me to pieces. How anybody could watch those videos and not get those chill bumps and not hear that baby scream and just be like, whoa, I, I don't know. You got to be heartless or something if you watch that video and didn't have no reaction to it. But again, y'all, just be mindful when we posting and we making comments and we sharing stuff and we don't even know it to be fact. We just sharing it because somebody posted it on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. We just see it and we automatically just say, "Let me share this. This a new update." No, don't do that. If it's not the news article and you're not getting the information from the news article, because the news people get their releases directly from the police department. Police department has a media person who submits their updates to the media, to the media outlets. So when they release their information or their updates on these stories, it's because they've got these releases from the police. Now you do have some media sources that not, that people go to, like, hey, I watched the Shade Room and they're not, different stuff like that. Those are social media news sources. Now I don't know. Now some of them they go to because there's something called a Freedom of Information Act where they can fill out a form and submit it to the police department to get information. Now the police department don't always release they're not gonna release every single piece of information they have on their case, especially when it's open and still on the investigation, because they start releasing stuff. The suspects know what they got and what's going on, and they can't do that with an open investigation. So they are protected in that instance of they're not required to release everything. Now, people do submit the Freedom of Information Act paperwork to say, hey, I like a copy of the video or I like a copy of this person, what y'all get. And the police will release a little taste of information just for the media to, and like I said, they got a media person. The media person comes up with a statement to release to the media to say, okay, this is what happened. This is what our investigation so far. This is where we're at. This is what we have. They don't release every single thing. They give a little summary, a statement to the media for the media to release. So 9 times out of 10, if you're on your local news or you're on the internet and you're searching and you see the news article comes up for the local news from this city, that state, they got it directly from the police department. Now, if you're sharing that and you giving your opinion on that, that's fine. That's okay. Because now you got something that you can say, hey, I saw it in the news article that they said they got this released by the police, from the police, this information police gave. But when you out here just somebody random posted on their Facebook page and said the mama and daddy abducted this child for money or for social media likes and views, and you reshared it and say this is sad, this don't make no sense, this parents like this, when nothing that the police release has said that these parents was involved in this abduction. To share that stuff like that it starts to snowball stuff. And then it starts to make the investigation that much more harder for police. And people don't realize that when they get on social media, on these different social media sites, spreading these rumors and stuff, it causes an issue with the actual investigation a lot of the times too. It really does. It starts interfering in the actual police investigation. I've, and then another thing, I'm gonna go live again. I'm gonna talk about the Carmelo Anthony situation up in Texas. I'm gonna talk about that a little later. I might continue this live and jump into that in a minute. I don't know yet. But and I know I am gonna come back maybe tomorrow in a couple of days and recap about this baby, or I'll wait till I see some more news articles that have updates, and I'll come back and come live again about this baby and do a recap and go over the time. I'll probably come back, go over the timeline of everything more precise timeline, more information on the arrests that were made and everything like that. But I just came live tonight about it because I just want to share that little brief opinion. And then, yeah, it's an opinion of mine, but it's also me saying, y'all, I've even seen where we had these people that are psychics or mediums. You know, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. Because again, we don't want to interfere in the police investigation. And you got a lot of these people that say, "Hey, I did a reading. This baby gonna be found by some water. He's still alive, but we don't know how." Like to come out and start saying stuff like that when the police are actively investigating. And I understand a lot of people do believe in a lot of this stuff, these mediums and these psychics that read the cards and stuff like that. Again, I don't have nothing against it. You know, I don't have anything against these people that do this. This is their thing. They heavy into it. I'm not saying they're fake, anything like that. By all means, everybody has their thing that they're into. But what I'm saying is when you have five different mediums or psychics coming in with five different theories, and everybody, you know, you got these people going running with this medium, this one running with this psychic and saying she saw this. I even seen where one person she posted on her page about it and about what she got in her cards, and you had another person who also does the cars and stuff came in this lady's post in her comments, and they argued back and forth about it. About no, your cars were wrong. You clearly fake. Excuse me. And it just blew my mind that they were going back and forth like that. I'm like, do people not know this does not look good to be on this internet? And you're saying, yeah, I'm a medium. I read the cards and the spirit, his spirit talking to me. He's in this place, that place. And then when the baby was found, they were still going back and forth in those comments. And the woman was like, clearly you was fake because everything you said was a lie. And it's like, y'all, why are we arguing right now? This when this baby is out here missing. We should be coming together to try to find this baby. Anybody that's close enough by that can help with the search should be coming out there to help with the search. If we're gonna be on social media spreading the awareness, spread the awareness. But don't again all of this allegations and coming up with theories to just throw out there, you know, again, that hinders the actual investigation because people start running with the fake leads and telling the police, oh, well, this was said, and but you know, stop it. Just stop it. Let the police, the actual investigators, the people that know what they're doing, that can investigate, let them investigate, please. That's all I'm saying. Um, but I'll be back with this baby's story. I'm gonna follow up on it, give a more detailed timeline of everything, and you know all the arrest and all that. When the police release more of a detailed statement, I'll come back live and give a little rundown on whatever they release at that time. And now I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, touch bases on Carmelo because I did bring him up. So the latest that I saw, they were saying Carmelo had got indicted. I don't think I seen anything about when it's supposed to go to trial or anything like that. I hadn't seen anything like that. The last I saw was everybody was discussing the indictment. They were saying they were indicting him on first degree murder and they're charging him as an adult. So my little brief opinion on that is the police saying they have a video. A few people said they had a chance to watch the video, but the video that everybody is saying that they watched is a video from the opposite that was filmed from the opposite side of the track field. And you could make out the figures and you can pretty much tell who was who based on where they were and what the actions and reaction was. But nobody, there's no sound, so nobody can hear what was said. Now people were saying, "Hey, Carmelo reacted within seconds of them approaching him," but again, we don't know what was said or done or anything like that. All we know is you can see the figures, you can see them walk up, and you can see Carmelo react from their video, from what the people that saw their video are saying. I haven't seen it personally because it wasn't released for the public to see. Okay, so this is my opinion on this situation. Same as before with this baby abduction, with this Carmelo situation. It was a lot of people there with phones recording. I'm sure them children was recording. Because they was sitting down on them tents. It was hundreds of people there that day, to include teachers and coaches and the the people, the athletes that was there. It was hundreds of people there. Okay, the only people that truly know what happened that day, that can say what was said and what was done, is Carmelo, Hunter, Austin, and Austin and Hunter's friends that were there with him, and then whoever the people were that Carmelo was sitting talking to. Those are the groups of people that can actually say what was said and what was done leading up to this, and what, up to the stab. And again, another situation of people taking stuff and running with it. Austin's brother Hunter has done several interviews, news interviews, and he's made contradictory statements in those interviews. When I come back again, that'll be something else I have. I have clips. He's try to have the clips from his different interviews of what he was saying each time he was interviewed. I'm not gonna play the whole because the interviews were quite long. I'm not gonna play each interview in its entirety. We're just gonna get a few clips and the intricate part, the parts that are important, where he was literally giving the specific statements of what happened that day, because he did contradict himself a couple of times between his interviews that people caught and they brought it up. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get those clips and we're gonna discuss them at a later date. But here's my take on it. This is a very tragic situation, because this is two young lives that have, well, three, including his Austin's twin brother Hunter, three lives that were changed that day, like completely changed. Carmelo, he's dealing with it on the law side. He's dealing with it on the inside of himself. That he unalived somebody. That wasn't his intention. He just was trying to get out of there safe. Hunter got to deal with the fact that he saw his brother being unalive, and he was there. And as they say, his brother passed out, but fell into his arms and bled out. And if that's how it happened, there's got to be traumatic. He's gonna need therapy after that, because it's gonna cause some PTSD. And I'm not just throwing PTSD out there, just throw it out there. That's a traumatic. If you watch your twin, not just your sibling, but your twin brother on the live in front of you, whether it's a gunshot or stabbing or whatever, what have you, watch them get injured in front of you, catch them in your arms and they bleed out, and you literally seeing them taking their last breath. That is traumatizing for that baby. And I feel for him in that aspect. Yeah, their actions that day led up to what happened, but I'm never gonna say it's a good thing that baby lost his life that day. And yes, I'm saying the baby, because he's not 25, 30. He's a high school child in high school. He's, in my eyes, baby. Okay. Carmelo didn't go to the track meet that day saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go kill somebody today. I'm gonna unalive somebody." So he didn't go to the track meet saying that. Not at all. He went out there because he was a runner. He was gonna be supposed to run it. Well, I don't know. Let me back up. I think he went out there because he was or he was going out there to spectate. But he was going out there as a student athlete that was able to go out there. Now I know people were saying he was suspended from school. He shouldn't have been at the track meet. I got to look into that. I don't know if something was released or not. They said he was suspended and not supposed to be at the track meet. I haven't laid my eyes on anything, so I can't say yeah or nay. But in any event, he was there. No adults had told him to get out of this stadium, and I'm sure plenty of adults had saw him there. No adults had told him to leave. In fact, the adults had told all the students, due to the weather delay and all the rain, to get up under the tents. Again, he was up under that tent. No adult said, "Hey, Carmelo, you can't be on this tent. This team, you're gonna have to move." Nobody said that. He had been sitting there a while before they walked up on him. So, for people to be saying Carmelo shouldn't have been there, he shouldn't have been under that tent. Okay, if he was under the wrong tent, there were adults there that could have handled it. Austin and Hunter could have approached some of those adults and said, "Hey, we got somebody on our tent causing a disturbance. Can y'all remove him from our tent? He's not a part of our team." Bam, an adult could have went over and said, "Come on, Carmelo, you got to go with us. You can't be on this tent. Um, there's some hostility here. We're gonna separate y'all." And that would have been the end of it. But no, you got all these 17-year-old boys. They ego and hormone testosterone, at that age, you went through your puberty. Some people go through labor, but boys will be boys at that age, and all of them on that macho, and they feel like we could get him from up on our 10 ourselves and decide to approach him. You can approach somebody, make them feel threatened, and then say, "Yeah, you might feel threatened, but you can't react that way." And that's what everybody is putting out there. They're saying Carmelo could have just fought. Remind y'all now that it was had been raining the entire day. They were under a weather delay for the track meet because it was pouring down raining out there. What makes y'all think this baby was gonna fight up in some bleachers that are wet and slippery? That baby could have got hit and fell and hit the back. He said he could have been the one that was dead out there. And this is what people are not taking into account. Yes, I can say, according to the law, reacting by stabbing somebody, and if they simply punched you, like it, and I'm gonna say this, he was surrounded, and from what I understand, even the people that watched the video said Austin was not the only person standing there. So we know Austin and Hunter and a couple other people were there. So this baby was outnumbered for one thing. So of course he's gonna fear. He's gonna have that fear if he's outnumbered. And people keep on saying he shouldn't have had no fear of threat or no fear of death or anything like that. He could have just fought hand to hand. Mind y'all, had he fought Austin, we don't know if Hunter would have jumped in or any of those other young men would have jumped in. We don't know what would have happened had he decided to just throw hands. That baby in his mind, and I know this, in that baby mind, it was a fight or flight instinct there. He wanted to get away, and his thinking was the only way I'm gonna get away from here unharmed is I'm gonna have to defend myself against this to get them to back off of me. And people said that baby said, "Touch me and see what happened." When somebody say, "Touch me and see what happened," and you still decide to put your hand, he to let you know, "Don't touch me. If you touch me, it's gonna be a reaction." And you still put your hand on there, baby. He got the right to defend himself any way he see fit to end the threat that he feels. I can't punch somebody and say, "You can't punch me back hard if you're gonna punch me back. You gotta punch me soft, or you gotta slap me, don't punch me." I can't do that. I gotta expect whatever reaction I get. If I walk up and slap somebody and they slap the shit out of me, that's my own fault. If I walk up and punch somebody, they can decide to punch me back or they can decide to take it a step further, push me down. I mean, I can't tell somebody how to react. Same way they can't tell this baby how to react. So while they sitting up here saying Carmelo shouldn't have reacted the way he reacted, we don't know. We weren't there. We weren't in that baby's head at that time to know exactly what he was thinking. We don't know that. But again, I'm gonna come back at a later date. I'm gonna wrap this up because I've been on here for a little minute now. So for the night, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll be back on here another day to rehash this as well and discuss Carmelo a little bit more. My opinion on it, I don't think he's gonna get away with completely with the self defense that people are saying. Yeah, and it was self defense. I can say that, but to an extent, they're gonna probably try to get him on a lesser charge of involuntary manslaughter, criminally negligent, some lower. I don't see him getting found guilty on first degree or second degree murder, anything like that, because it wasn't nothing premeditated about it. So for them to be trying to get him with premeditated murder charge, because that's what first degree is. First degree is you premeditate. You thought about, I'm gonna kill this man when I see him today. You put a knife in your bag and you went out there with your mindset that you was going to kill. That's premeditated. You had enough time ahead of time to plan it out that you were going to kill somebody. He didn't sit there and plan out, I'm going to kill him when they first started. No, it was out of instinct that he stabbed him. Okay. Now with second degree and third degree, they don't have to prove premeditation. You know, so they might try to lower to that, but I don't think it should be first, second, or third. In my opinion, it should be involuntary manslaughter or criminal negligent homicide, something like, because it wasn't an intentional. Because first degree, second degree, third degree, all of those are showing an intent that he wanted him to die, that he set out to cause him harm that was going to end his life. And I don't think that was the case. So I don't think he should be charged for any of that. That's just my opinion. I can leave y'all opinions in the comment. I feel like that baby was trying to defend himself and get away from the crowd, because as soon as he did what he did, he took off running. He didn't stay there and keep stabbing him. He didn't stay there and stab nobody else. He stabbed Austin. Austin fell. He ran. It wasn't. I'm gonna keep going. That's why I say I don't see it as being premeditated. I don't see it being he intentionally harmed him or anything like that. But again, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna rehash it. We're gonna play some clips from people going, from other people's opinions, see what people say. I want people to join me too. I won't be talking about myself. Hey, I'm live on YouTube.
You're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
I just you know how to get to the page, right?
Now just send me a link. You go to it. But I'm about to go get my weed in this building when I get off work.
Okay, I'm finished trying to show you the link now.
Got a mean ass headache. This is bothering the shit out of me.
It's crazy.
How many views we got? Nobody?
No, nobody. Oh, I'm viewing myself from the TV with the volume off, so it won't repeat. But let me try to get you the link. But yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm still here, y'all. Give me just a moment. I'm coming right back to talk.
Yeah, I'll be your first view. I got that.
All right. Can you hear my voice and everything?
I haven't even got up there yet. I'm
Oh,
waiting for it to load.
okay. I hope my voice coming through good. But anyway, y'all, I'm talking about Carmelo right now. I already talked about Jamal. I'm gonna go back live at a later time and go back over Jamal. But I'm talking about Carmelo right now.
Are you in the dark?
I ain't got my camera. No, I need to turn my camera on. But I was just doing my voice because
I
I don't
really
like.
can't see nothing.
What about now? Can you see me in the camera? I look messy in the camera.
Now you can't see shit. This is dark, dark.
It's dark. I'm dark, ain't it?
Super dark. Now I can see a little bit. Yeah, we need to fix that.
I'm gonna have to use my webcam, my plug-in webcam to go live.
You can't see shit besides your forehead.
I'm
One shirt.
gonna turn this camera back off.
All right.
But yeah, I'm still discussing Carmelo right now. Can you hear my voice pretty good though?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Good. That's all I want to make sure. I see. I got somebody in here, Viren. You can post in the comments if you got a comment. Thank you for joining and watching. Or if you want to, you got something to say. But back to what I was saying with Carmelo. So they indicted him on first degree murder. To me, that charge did not fit what he's charged with. I mean, what the I'm sorry, that charge does not fit what happened. First degree murder is he premeditated. He woke up that day saying, "I'm gonna go up here to the track meet and kill somebody." He didn't do that. That's not what that was. He didn't wake up with the intent put a knife in his bag and go up there to kill. It wasn't even a knife that he had. It was a tool for, from what I understand. Well, I'm not sure because some people said it was an actual knife. Some people said it actually was not a knife. The poker that he had. So I'm not sure. I'm not gonna comment on it till I do my further research. Um, if somebody know that it actually was a knife or was a different a tool, some type of tool, let me know. But I'll do my own research shortly here. But again, he didn't put something in his backpack and say, "Okay, I'm gonna go up here to this track meeting. I'm gonna kill somebody today." So how is he charged with a whole premeditated crime? I see involuntary manslaughter or I see criminally negligent homicide, which those two charges are basically somebody died and as a result of your action, of your negligence, not as a result of you planning to hurt them. So, and I can also see him getting off on with it with self defense too. It may come down to that. We can see him not guilty due to self defense. You know, Texas got them self defense and them stand your ground laws too. We never know till they go to trial. I don't know a trial date yet, I don't think they said any trial dates or anything like that because we still pretty early on a couple of
So
months
they still
into.
have the chances to something to do that. It's already 56. I'm gonna be here a while then.
I heard you. Um,
I heard myself in the chat.
cause it's cause you on the phone. That's why. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have some links in my chat to some news articles and stuff like that, and we're gonna get more in depth into this. And people, I want people to leave their opinions and stuff like that. Um, my last comment, I'm gonna go back to the baby abduction. Like I was saying before, please stop y'all with going live and making these posts on these social media sites about their baby mama and his dad had him abducted for social media views and likes, because that's not the case. His dad wasn't arrested. It was his uncle, the daddy twin brother, was arrested, and he wasn't even for the abduction. He was arrested for shooting off a gun at a firearm at a vehicle that was riding up through the neighborhood. They didn't realize it was somebody that was searching, and tension was still high. Let's put the information. If we're gonna put the information out there, y'all, let's put it out there correctly. Don't just be. I'm gonna make a post and I'm gonna put what I think. Let's not do, because that baby gonna be old enough one day to read all of this and listen to all of this, and we don't want that baby re-traumatized hearing people saying his mom and dad had him abducted for money or for social media fame. So please, let's stop with that and just report on the facts. And with the Carmelo situation, like I stated, it's still we just a few months in. They handed down the indictment. They trying to charge, not only charge him with first degree murder, but they trying to charge him with first degree murder as an adult. They're trying to send this baby to jail for the rest of his life as a 17-year-old high school student. But he's graduating now. He got. Oh. Excuse me.
18.
Oh, he 18. I thought he was okay.
17 and a half and turned 18 after.
Oh, okay. So he's 18 now. I mean, so legally, yeah, he's an adult. But if it happened when he was 17, he should be charged as a juvenile, because at that time he still was a juvenile in the law's eye. But even if they are no charge him as an adult, charge him with the appropriate thing. Don't charge him with first degree murder as an adult, trying to send him away for the rest of his life. If y'all gonna charge, like, again, criminal negligent homicide, involuntary manslaughter, lower the charge down. You can still leave it as an adult, but lower it down. I mean, he should face accountability for what he did, but don't just lock him up and throw away the key, y'all. That's all I'm saying. But that's it. But that's it for tonight. Anybody got anything to say? Leave your comments in there. I'll go over the comments and reply to as many as I can. Um, when I go live again, anybody want to come up and talk, more than welcome to. Just pop something in the chat. Say, hey, I got something to say, and I'll welcome you right on in. Anyway, y'all have a good night. I'll be back probably about a weekend. Talk about these two cases. We're gonna talk about some other stuff too. Y'all have a good night.